All right, let's dive into Google Discover. We're going to figure out how to get your stuff seen right. Today, we're looking at this article, Google Discover Checklist, 6 must-dos. Sounds promising.
Yeah, what really caught my eye was, you know how Discover is totally different than regular search? It's not like people are hunting for something. It's more like Discover is like picking stuff out just for them, things they'd probably like.
Oh, so like Google's playing matchmaker, your content, and the perfect person to see it.
Exactly. And think about it, each person's feed is like tailored to them, right? What they like, what they've searched, even YouTube stuff. Huge opportunity.
So how do we get in on that?
Well, the article jumps right in. First
Yeah.
up, might sound crazy, but posting every day.
Whoa, daily. But then I thought about it. They said, Discover wants fresh stuff, trending topics. Makes sense.
It's not just to keep up, though. It's like, got to be part of what's happening online, you know? People talking about it in NOW.
So less churning out content, more being in tune with what your audience is into right this second.
Yeah, and the article even says, use Google Trends. See what's hot in your niche. Imagine knowing what they'll want before they even do.
Now, what about that awesome content you already made, the evergreen stuff? Update it.
Give it a fresh coat of paint, new info, or even a new angle. Boom, it's discover-worthy again.
Signals to Google you're on top of it, which helps.
Totally. And speaking of standing out, visuals are huge GE.
Like they said, even a Bengal tiger needs a good photo, right?
Yeah.
In Discover, it's make or break.
Got to be high quality, at least 1,200 pixels wide, no blurry stuff. And the alt text, super important, helps people who can't see the image, and Google too, to understand what's up.
Okay, so awesome visuals, check. Now we need a title that'll stop the scroll.
Right, the article has these great examples how to take a blog title and make it POP.
It's crazy how a few words can change everything.
They talk about the psychology, using numbers, like emotional stuff, and keywords that make people want to click.
Like climate change facts versus 5 shocking climate change facts you need to know today. Big difference.
Huge. But gotta be careful, no clickbait. Gotta deliver on what you promise.
Right. Intrigue is good. Misleading, not so much.
Finding that balance is key. All right, visuals, title, what's next? Mobile first. Can't forget that.
It's 2024. Everyone's on their phones, especially on Discover.
Yeah, if your content isn't mobile friendly, you're missing out on, like, everyone.
Responsive design, so it looks good on any screen. And fast loading times, that's crucial.
Oh, and AMP, accelerated mobile pages. Those load like lightning.
They even mentioned Google's mobile-friendly test. See if your site is up to snuff.
Awesome tool. Now brace yourselves, we're going into structured data land.
Sounds scary.
Not really. Think of it like talking Google's language so they get your content.
Helping them show it off right on Discover.
Yep. Schemas, like news article, breadcrumb, telling Google exactly what's what.
I was confused at first, but the article shows the actual code, made it much clearer.
Yeah, they have that example how a news article tells Google, hey, this is a news article. The headline, date, author, all that.
So no guessing games for Google, nice and clear.
Makes a huge difference. Ready to level up further. Web stories.
Oh yeah, those are cool, like mini movies, visual stories, perfect for mobile.
They use that visual storytelling power. People love that.
Yeah.
High quality visuals, short text, even polls or quizzes to make it interactive.
And Discover has a whole section just for web stories. They're all in on this.
Makes sense. It's a way to stand out, grab people's attention differently.
Gotta meet your audience where they are, right? And that's often on their phone.
Totally. Now, gotta give credit where it's due. There's articles from Mediology. They know their stuff, helping publishers do well online.
Yeah, they offer a bunch of services, like making your site run better, that structured data stuff, even help with your content strategy.
Clearly, they get Discover and what creators need to succeed.
So, before we jump into part 2, let's take a minute, think about what we've learned. Discover's a huge opportunity to connect with people who are actually interested in what you do.
But it's not just luck. Got to be strategic, know your audience, and use what's special about Discover to your advantage.
Not just throwing stuff out there. Gotta tailor it for Discover, visuals, mobile-friendly, even trying new stuff like web stories.
It's about taking all the pieces and making something that's actually engaging, something people will actually enjoy.
And now, over to you listening. We talked about knowing your audience, but think about those hidden interests they have, those little niches within your field that could blow up on Discover.
What unique things do you know that would make people stop scrolling and be like, whoa, gotta read this?
Keep that in mind for part 2. So back to those hidden gems, those niches you were thinking about. Any ideas?
Ooh, yeah. Like we're on a treasure hunt, finding those things people are really into, you know. I'm realizing it's not just about making content. It's making content that really clicks with the right people.
And Discover is perfect for that, connecting with them on a deeper level than like regular search.
Like we're matchmakers. Content and audience, the perfect pair.
Exactly. And the article mentions, gotta go beyond just sharing info, right? Make people think, question things, even inspire them to do something. Oh, that's good, yeah. Taking it to that next level, not just informative, but impactful.
The article even suggests, like, add polls and quizzes, make it interactive.
Get them involved. It's not just talking at them, it's a back and forth.
Creates that community feeling, which is so important online, where everyone can feel so disconnected sometimes.
Definitely. And the article talks about reaching more people, like thinking about their language, where they are, what they're into locally.
That's smart. They have that example, publishers in India, creating content in different languages to reach everyone.
It's like hyper-local, right? Say you're a food blogger, there's a local festival, bam, make content about that. You'll get a whole new audience who's into that specific thing.
It's all about those connections, the big trends, and what your specific audience is loving, putting those together.
So engaging content, check. Understanding the audience, check. Local stuff, check. What else did they say was important?
They warn about those common traps, like don't fall for the clickbait thing.
Oh, yeah, clickbait. It's tempting, but it's like that saying, fool me once.
Exactly. You get that initial click, but then people realize it's not what they expected. You lose their trust.
And then they're gone, looking for something more reliable.
It's like showing up to a job interview in sweats. You're not making a good impression.
So bad images, bad writing, stock photos, all sending the wrong message.
Got to focus on quality. Yeah. Everything you do. Oh, and the article reminds us, Discover's always changing. Got to keep up.
Yeah, what works today might not work tomorrow. Got to stay flexible.
It's kind of fun, though, like experimenting, seeing what works.
Like a scientist in a lab testing things out.
Exactly. What works for your audience might be totally different for someone else. Got to be curious, keep learning.
All right, so before we get to part 3, here's something to think about. We've talked about content that's, relatable, engaging, informative. But what if it could do more?
More? Like what?
Like what if it could make people question their beliefs, see things from a different angle, have those deep conversations that really matter?
Ooh, I like that. It's like Discover's not just for sharing info. It's for, like, growing as a person,
Exactly. Inspiring people to take action, to change how they see things. That's real impact.
And think about it. Discover can reach people who'd never even think about those things otherwise. It's not preaching to the converted. It's reaching everyone.
Like planting seeds, we might not see the results right away, but those ideas can spread and grow.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
What we create can literally change how people understand the world, help them think critically.
So back to the Google Discover checklist, it's like those practical tips are actually steps towards something much bigger.
Right. Visuals, titles, those are important. But the real goal is to get people talking, thinking deeply about what we're passionate about.
I'm all for that. And you listening, think about this. What if you could use Discover not just to share information, but to actually make the world a better place?
Now that's something to think about as we head into part 3.
Thinking about Discover like that, it's kind of inspiring.
Yeah, it's like we're not just content creators, we're like thought leaders, guiding people, helping them see things differently.
Right, clicks are cool and all, but what if we could actually motivate people to do something, change their minds, see the world in a new way? That's real power.
And the cool thing about Discover is it reaches those people who might never stumble upon these ideas of what I mean.
Oh, totally. It's not like we're just talking to the same people who already agree with us. It's reaching everyone who's curious, who's open to learning new stuff.
We're planting seeds, right? You never know how those ideas will grow and spread.
That's kind of beautiful when you think about it. What we make, it can shape how people understand things, challenge their beliefs, help them be more critical.
So going back to that checklist, all those tips, they're actually building blocks for something much bigger.
It's like, yeah, we need the visuals, the catchy titles to get people's attention, but the real point is to get them thinking, really engaging with these topics we care about.
Absolutely. Those techniques are important, but they're just tools. The goal is to use Discover to make people smarter, more curious, more connected.
That's a pretty amazing thing when you think about it. We have this responsibility to use Discover for good, to make people think, to spark those important conversations.
So challenge yourself, right? Don't just think about what Discover can do for you, but what you can do for the people using it.
Give them your best ideas, your unique perspective. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. Who knows, maybe your article, your web story, that one question you ask could change everything.
That's what I love about Discover, the potential for real impact.
So that wraps up our Google Discover Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us, and go out there and make some amazing content.